And hello, everybody. Welcome to the live chat with me today. I'm so happy to see everybody here today. Some of my good friends are joining me online, and this is kind of exciting. This is the first live that I have done on YouTube, and I am really glad that you all are here with me. So hello to everyone. Hello, hello. It is so nice to see everybody. I hope you guys are having a great day. It is a little gray and dreary where I am today, so hopefully you are experiencing some sunshine. All right, I'm hoping that you all can hear me and see me okay. So please let me know in the chat if the volume is loud enough and everything is working all right. All right. I am for a weekly review. So I want to jump over to the computer real quickly and give you an outline of what I'm going to be doing today, and then we're going to start the process. Okay, so here on my daily page, you see I have listed up here that I'm doing my live stream today, and it is going to be with my weekly review. So let's click on that link, and that will take me to a page that shows me the original GTD um, weekly review process that David Allen created many, many years ago. And you can see that he has it broken down into three parts. He has the get clear part and the get current part and then the get creative part. Well, I think that the most important part is the get clear part, and that's really getting everything out of your head and on paper so that you don't get it lost. I think that one of the best things that I can do for my weekly review is to think about all of those things that are out there that are coming up in my calendar, coming up in my life that won't sneak up on me and won't surprise me and don't cause me all of that stress of going, I forgot somebody's birthday, or, the car tags have expired, or, something terrible has happened. So, anyway, so I think the get clear part is very important. Get current is also important. And then I find once you've accomplished those two parts, the creative part just starts flowing because your mind is opened up and freed to so many more things, and you can really then start thinking and dreaming and working on projects and that kind of thing. That's what I like. Okay. So as you see here on your far left hand side, this was David Allen's original GTD workshop work list for the weekly review. Then over here on the right hand side, I have added, kind of my own twist on things. Um, and so I'm going to kind of go through that with you today. So hopefully you guys have grabbed something good to drink. I have my ever trusty water bottle here. And grab your planners and let's go through this weekly process together. Okay? All right. All right, I'm glad everybody can see and hear me properly. That's wonderful. All right, so the first thing for getting clear is to go around your house or your office or wherever you happen to be planning and collect all those loose papers and materials. And you see here on the screen, I have listed, I need to get my notes from my church bulletin. I need to go through my purse and get any receipts. I need to go through my book bag and get any papers or notes. I need to look for notes that are on my desk. I also have a pocket on the front of my iPad, and I also have a drawer in the kitchen that I keep all the bills in. So when the mail comes in, if it's a bill, I open it, look at it, put it right in that bills drawer. That way they never get lost, okay? Because when you have 5 cats running around your house that like to knock papers on the floor, that's one of the things that happens. Okay, so let's get started and let's take a look at collecting some of that stuff. All right, so I have a little basket. I went around the house. I collected my stuff so that I could share it with you guys. The first thing that I talked about was my church bulletin. This is my notebook that I use for church, and I run the online um, service for our church. And when we have church services, I write down any information, announcements, all of that kind of stuff things that I need to look for, production notes, all of that kind of stuff. So I have all of these things here, and I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to need to add some of these things to my calendar. Okay. All right. I also brought my purse over because I did a lot of shopping earlier this week. It was one of those times where you go to the big box stores and all those kinds of things. So I do have some receipts here. I had to get gas, spent some money at BJ's, those kinds of things. Went to Food Line and got some rolls last night for dinner. So cleaning these out of my purse is important. Now, what do I do with all this stuff that I collect? Am I going to sit here and process these right now? Am I going to put them in my Excel spreadsheet for my budget right now? No, I'm not going to do that because this is about planning. This is not about doing. Okay. So I have an inbox, which, excuse me for disappearing. Oh, there it is. I have an inbox, a physical inbox. Uh, it's just a plastic tray. And in there, I have things already that need to be taken care of. So, for example, I have something on my car that I have to do, that kind of thing. So that's in there. So I'm going to take these receipts and I'm going to put them in this inbox. Remember, I'm not processing these right now. I am simply collecting them. Okay? All right. All right. So moving on, we're going to go through our backpack here and see if there's anything in the backpack that needs to come out. I don't think I have anything in here except a souvenir that can come out, and I will put that in my inbox as well. Okay. All right. So I've gone through my purse and collected things, gotten notes off my desk, gone through my backpack, any mail that I have, and I'm just collecting all of that stuff. Okay. Now it's all in one place. Now I'm going to need to make sure that as I'm going through and planning my week, that I work time in to get those things done. So a financial check-in to record those or log those receipts. Getting ready for church to go through and write down that information about, from the last meeting that we had. Okay, so that's the easiest way I know to do that. Okay, so that helps me get clear, collecting all those loose papers and materials. Now, the second thing that David Allen talks about is right here, getting your inbox to zero. Okay, and that means for David Allen, that means going through and deleting all of his emails and that kind of thing. Well, I don't do that. I don't worry about deleting all of my emails. What I do is as I go through the days and emails come in, I flag anything. I put a red flag on anything that I need to um, pay attention to in the future. And then when I come to my weekly review, all I do is go into my Outlook and I look at all of those red flagged items and I can take a look and see if there's anything there that I need to process. Okay. So I don't worry about deleting every sale email that comes in and that kind of thing. I do a bulk you know, trashing that stuff, at the end of the month. So I don't worry about going through and deleting all that stuff. Just getting to the flagged items are, what I need to do. Yes, it is a cute backpack. Thank you for that comment. I love that backpack because it stands up almost like a medical bag, but it holds my big laptop and it works great. I absolutely love it. I got it off of Amazon. It wasn't very expensive, like 30 bucks. So I think that's fantastic. Let's see. Um, the next thing that's on here is emptying your head. And I don't know about you guys, but I seem to have a lot of things floating around in my head. Um, but to help me remember specific things, I have created a trigger list. Now, let me show you the original trigger list. This original trigger list here is something that came again from David Allen from Getting Things Done. And you see he has it broken down into professional and personal items. Okay. Well, what I did is I kind of went through and made a list in the middle for myself because there are some things on the professional thing that since I'm retired, they don't, you know, apply to me anymore. And so I kind of created my own list, and I have it right here next to my breakdown. Okay. All right. So where do I store this information? Well, one easy way to do it is to create a list right here next to my triggers. Okay. So I'm going to show you that. Let's get rid of this. Don't know why that's there, but I'm just going to go up here and I'm going to label this brain dump. And I'm going to put today's date, which is 4/7. All right. And I apologize if you can hear my cat snoring. As always, she's right here beside me, and she's sound asleep with her little face covered up, but she is snoring, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. Okay. All right, so on my triggers list here, I usually go and look at my yearly and monthly calendars, which I'll do in just a minute. My calendar's 2 weeks back and 2 weeks forward. And again, I'll do that in just a minute. But then I also go and look to see if there's any calls or texts that I need to do. And how I normally do that is I normally go to my phone and I look to see if anybody has called or texted me within the last few days that I have not responded to. You know how we all get those texts that, you need to get back to that person, but you can't do it right away because you're waiting for information for somebody else or something like that. So I, so I always just go back through and check my texts. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Let's see. All right. So I don't see any texts on here that I need to respond to. And then I also have to jump over to Facebook Messenger because I do get a lot of contacts through Facebook Messenger. Again, so I need to go through, scan through on my phone and make sure that I've responded to everybody and that there's nothing outstanding there. Okay. All right. I do need to contact Linda. Oh, sorry about that. Let's get this spelling correct here. I do need to contact Linda about a visit with R. Okay. And let's see. Then as I keep going down my calls and texts, let's see. Bernice says, I am reading GTD and I try to implement what I already know. It's great to see it in action. Thank you. It took me a few years to be able to, take the GTD method the way it's written and really apply it, to what works for me. The one thing that I think is it's a very natural planning process. And I think that that's, kind of important. So that's just kind of how I've implemented it. And it really can be personalized for everybody, as they need it in their lives. Okay. All right. So Zoom events that are coming up. Let's see. I know I have the Good Friday service tonight, which I need to get ready for here in a little bit. And I have church on Sundays. And let's see, I don't think that I have any other Zoom events coming up that I know about. Anniversaries. Well, my husband and I are celebrating our anniversary next month, so I need to make sure I keep that in mind. So that will be in May. And we need to get some planning done for that. Birthdays, there are a lot of birthdays in this month. I have one of my best friend's birthdays, and my niece's birthday, and my friend's birthday. So I know there are, and I can't forget uh, good old Uncle Bill. So we have all of those birthdays that are coming up. So I have to list those so that I know to get cards or good wishes or presents or whatever's appropriate for those people out. Okay. All right. Then outings and events that are coming up. I know I do have some travel coming up that I need to finalize those plans, and that is to North Carolina. And again, I don't have to write down every single thing. I just have to have something that will trigger me to remember, things that I need to do about that. Okay. Outings and events. Outings and events. Is there anything else coming up? Not that I can think of. Doesn't mean I can't go back and add it. Okay. Family functions coming up. Well, of course, there's the Easter dinner, which will be coming up on Sunday. And then I have a birthday dinner with a friend, and I have game day with the ladies as part of my, socialization kind of thing. Let's see. Appointments, I have been having some more of my back issues. So I do have appointments with Dr. T next week. So hopefully she can take care of that. And I do need to make a dentist appointment. Okay, so you guys get the idea. Let's see, things to do. Hmm. Can't really think of anything offhand. Pet needs, I just put in a Chewy order, so I think the cats are good for that. Little man has healed from his neutering surgery and he is back to being his rambunctious little devil self. I know that some of you have asked about the cats, so I've started doing a little bit of filming for a little kitty cam. So I'm going to put up a little video now and then about, some adventures of the cats. I thought that was maybe a cute idea. Let me know if you would like to see more about the cats, because I think that's kind of fun. Dr. T is my chiropractor, and I swear, I think that her hands are just magical. She does a great job, and if I get to her before the problem gets too bad, then she's able to take care of me. So I'm hoping that she'll be able to continue to do that. I'm just glad that she's younger than I am, so maybe she won't retire until till I'm long gone. All right, let's keep moving down. Let's move our list down. Again, a cool thing about OneNote, you can just move your list down as you go. Let's see. People, people, people. Well, I mentioned some people's birthdays. Um, Neighbors, anything for the neighbors or the neighborhood that I need to do? Oh, yes, I need to send a welcome letter to new neighbor. Um, All right. Welcome letter to the new neighbor that moved in at the end of the lane. Um, Areas of focus. Let's see. MK wants to know, is this brain dump in a temporary OneNote container that you list and reuse from your week to week? Yes, it is. It is. So I have here a temporary container that I brought over that I keep here right next to my process, and then this one will get moved to my inbox for April as soon as I am finished with it here, and we'll do that in just a few seconds. Thanks for the question. All right, let's see. Ministry, I don't have anything coming up for that. My volunteer work, um, nothing jumping out at me for there. Expenses, giving, nope, I've set that stuff up already and it's automatic. I do automatic giving for, like, the local NPR station and church and, those kinds of things. Education. I am going to list my master class because my subscription is expiring this month, and there were a couple master classes that I didn't get to finish. And so I have until the end of the month, so I want to make sure that I put that on there to finish those. Okay. Culture, museums, concerts, plays, etc. Let's see. I know Dave Koz is somebody that I love, and I want to check out what he's got going on. And let's see. I got to keep my eye out for Shakespeare in the Park. I know that they do things every year, and I want to make sure that I get that on my calendar. So I'm going to put that on the list so that I don't forget. Okay. Now, the fun that you see listed here, I already have the one game night with the ladies, because that's one of my goals is to try to plan more fun things. So I also have game night uh, with Walter. So we'll put that on there. Anything from the library, movies that I want to watch, books that I'm reading. I just went to the library and checked out a whole like pile of books. And my husband was teasing me. He's like, "Now you girl, you go sit in the corner and read those books and make sure that you actually, like them before you check them all out." I told him I already did that. This was the weeded through pile that I wanted to read. So let's see. The one that I am currently reading is An Elderly Lady Who Must Not Be Crossed, which is not your typical murder mystery because she's the murderer. Anyway, it's kind of an interesting twist on a murder mystery. So I'll let you know what I think about that. All right, sports events. I don't attend a lot of sporting events, but I have been enjoying some baseball now that the season has started again. Family meetings. We pretty much do that every night at dinner. Home projects. So, I got to keep working on that basement. I got rid of a few boxes yesterday, and I took some trash out from down there yesterday. So I'm working on it, but my goodness. And I do want to get the painting of the window ledges. Now that I've taken the curtains down, I can go ahead and get that taken care of. All right. Meal plans, I do that every Sunday. So I'm going to leave that. Um, I love cozy murder mysteries too. I'm not sure if this one's going to turn out to be a cozy murder mystery. I'm about 5 chapters in, and she's already killed 2 people. So, we'll see how this goes. I think it's kind of interesting though because she is an older lady, and she pretends to be deaf and to be a little daffy so that she can get away with things. It's actually kind of kind of interesting. Um, Yeah. An elderly lady must not be crossed, I think is the correct title of that. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. Let's see. All right. So recipes to try. Uh, oh, the recipe for the Kahlua crack cake that I talked about earlier this month, my husband made that for me for my birthday, and oh my goodness, it is yummy. I think we could use with like half as much glaze. Super moist cake, super delicious, and it turned out really well. And he's not even much of a baker, so bravo to him. He did a great job. Okay, inventories in the freezer and the pantry. I've been working on going through and getting rid of like moving the food forward. So, eating the older things that are in there and getting those out and making room for new things. And so that's worked out pretty good. Mm. All right. All right, Bernice, I'm sorry I don't have the link for you for that book, but I think the title, you should be able to find the title pretty well. Okay. All right. Goals. I always check in on my goals at the end of every month and I add them to my dashboard so I know the current goals that I'm working on. So I'm going to leave that alone. Let's move my list all the way down here. I just did a huge spring brain dump, so I don't have a lot of things that aren't already on my mind. So, all right, blogs and podcasts. Oh, there was a blog that I didn't know that Michelle Obama started a podcast, but I did hear about that and I want to listen to that. Pod list. My goodness. Podcast. I do want to listen to that, so I'm going to add that to my list so I can remember that. Television shows. I My husband and I have been streaming the Kaminsky Method, and we've also been streaming Ted Lasso. And those are the 2 things that I'm watching right now that I think are kind of fun. All right. Let's see. Shopping wish list. Maybe a new vacuum. I think I might have killed the old vacuum. I don't know. I'll put a question mark by that. All right. Cleaning checklist. I have my routines that I go through, so I don't have anything outstanding on that. Maintenance schedule for the house or the car. I do have a hood recall that I need to get done on my car. So I'll add that to the list again. It's been on there for a while. Creative expression, hobbies, honeydew list. Again, that's that broken vacuum. Travel plans, we talked about that already. Problems. Am I having any problems? I don't think so. Not that I can think of anyway at the moment. So, medical needs, we talked about that with my doctor's appointments. This is interesting if you're having trouble with a brain dump, to take a site walk around your home, your office, your yard, your vehicle, all of those kinds of things. You can do a site walk around, meaning in your mind, like, visualize walking through the house. But what I like to do is actually, take my phone and with OneNote on it, and I like to really physically walk around the house and make a list of door scuffs that need to be fixed or light fixtures that need to be replaced or, that kind of thing. I think that's a pretty cool way to do that. Let's see. Next one is personal development. Again, masterclass. I'm trying to get those last couple of things finished that I want to take. And gear has to do with any hobbies, any, sports that you might be involved with or anything like that. So take a look at your gear and see if there's anything that you need replacing. Maybe you're a tennis player and you want new strings for the season, or, a swimmer or something like that, whatever. And then tech. Do I need new microphones, a new SIM card, anything like that? Um, a new speaker for this laptop, might be nice. Anyway. Okay, so that's my trigger list. Now I've got my brain dump. I'm going to grab that, I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to take it over to my April inbox up here. And let's get to the right year, 2023, April inbox. And I'm going to dump it right here. Paste it in. And there is my brain dump for this particular week. Okay, now how do I get all these pretty colors on there? Well, I go through and I sort them. So for example, Good Friday, that will be a church event. So I come up here to my tags, and for those of you who follow me, I use tags a lot. So I have some tags here for church events. So I can just go through and do that. Um, and then let's see, this Dr. Tabor, that would be a call that I need to make. So a call or text. So that's how I do that. I go through and um, an action item to make those dentist appointments. So you get the idea with the brain dump of how I kind of do that thing. With the tags, it really is helpful. Tags are awesome. I love them. I love the tag summary page. It really, helps keep me in order. Okay. All right. So let's jump back to our list and figure out where we are supposed to be. What are we supposed to be doing next? Okay. So we've gone through and we've done our um, we've looked at our trigger list and we've gotten that done, and we've done our tags um, as we need to do them. So let's go and look at our tag summary list. And, we've done sorry, let me start again. We've done the get clear part now. We've gotten all that stuff that might have been in our head, and we've gotten it on paper. Now we're going to get current. We're going to take a look at things that we've already done, mark those off. And so I'm going to go up here to my find tags summary, and it's going to come through, and you can see that it's creating all of these lists. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to go down here to the very bottom, and some of these I do not need, because let's see, let me make sure this is just for, I got to move my computer here for just a second. I just want this notebook. Yes, this notebook. All right. and refresh the results. There you go. Okay. So some of these things are in here and I don't need to see them, like all of these to-dos. But what I do is I come in here and I take a look at the things that I have. So clear out under my desk. I did that. That's completed. So I'm going to check that off. Not only does it check it off here, but it checks it off on the original page where it happens to be. Actually, you know what? I'm in the wrong notebook. All right, let's try that again. Let's go back to my current notebook. Let's do a find tag summary here. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's see. So at the computer, Newbern, I did that. That was a bill that needed to be paid. So I took care of that. And let's see. Update the neighbor list with address and phone number. That's for the new neighbor that I just talked about. So I have to collect that information. Somebody needs to put a wiper blade on the back of the '04 car. And there's the hood latch recall. All right, so all of these things are things that were on that big, big list. Dentist appointment, we just put that on there. Dust and scrub the porch. Ooh, it's too cold there. Too cold to do that yet. Fireplace pilot light off. Again, this is when I went through and did my spring brain dump. So you can see it takes all of the tags that you create throughout your whole notebook and puts them together for you. All right? All right, so neighbor contacts, there we go. Pay the taxes, haven't done that yet, but it's due this week. So we will do that. Put out the deck rugs, again, still too cold. We haven't done any of that yet. Budget tasks, all right. All right, we took care of Dash Lane and we have not done our financial check-in for this week. All right, and dentist appointments, Dr. Tabor next week. I know that's coming up. Okay. Welcome letter to the new neighbors. There's that. And tasks for CCL. You get the idea. Just going through what I need to do, checking off those things. Um, Good Friday tonight, so I'm going to be able to check that off. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that now because I know that that's going to happen tonight. Okay? All right. And again, if you don't want to see some of these things, you can close them off. Like, if I don't need to see what I'm talking about with my husband or my daughter or that kind of thing, I can just close those. Okay? All right. So you get the idea of how to use the tag summary. It's amazing. I love it. Love it. Love it. Wait, you have bills that mention my capital city, LOL. That's true. You want to tell everybody where you're from? Okay. Again, can you hear the cat snoring? She's amazing. All right. Okay, so I've done most of that. Now it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. I need to go ahead and set my week up for next week so I can start adding these things to my planning calendar. Okay. Yes, she's from Switzerland. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go here to this weekly page, which is this week that I just finished, that I'm just finishing up, and I'm going to mark off anything that I did. So I did have my birthday. I'm going to highlight that as being done. I did my prep for the Easter egg hunt, which is coming up. So we filled the eggs and we got all the crafts and the goodies together for the kids. And the live stream on YouTube is happening right now. So I did all of those things. Let's see, errands and things to buy. I still have a birthday present to do, and I still have something to return, a return to make. All right. Did my home cleaning tasks. There's that return again. Vacuum cleaner is broken, the one that I use on the lower level. Okay, mailed Easter cards, so I took care of that. I did thank you for my birthday wishes to everybody, so I can highlight that. When I finish something on here and I mark that it's done, if it doesn't have a checkbox next to it, I highlight it to say that it's completed. Okay? And I am talking to BR at the moment about dinner plans. Then my waiting on section here, I'm still waiting on my Fusion Paint to come in so I can start working on that secretary. but the Chewy order did come in. Okay. All right. So this week is finished, and I'm going to move forward to my blank weekly, and I'm going to make a copy of that. I'm going to put it in April in my current section, make a copy, and you see over here it puts it all the way at the bottom. So I can grab that. All right. And then we can go in and change these dates. It's most important to me, I think, um, to get things set up for the week ahead of time, because then I can just sit back during the weekend and either take care of things that need to be taken care of or, um, you know, work on things ahead of time if I need to. Okay. All right. So this first date is the 10th. So let's go over here and we will grab those cute little um, stickers. So I'm going to need 11, and I can hold down my Alt key or my Control key, and 15, 16, 12, 13, 14, snoring cat. All right, back here to April. And let's change the date on this. We'll put all of those raindrops in there scattered around. And this will be April 10 through the 17th. Okay, so Wednesday. I would love to see pictures of your planner pages that you guys are creating too. I know some of you are very creative, and if you'd like to post them, I know you can't post pictures in the YouTube comments, but I do have a Facebook page or I do have an Instagram page. If you would like to share information over there, that would be really fun for me to see what your pages look like. I get lots of inspiration from other people, and I just think that's really cool. Really cool. I'm really liking this pastel colors for this month. All right, there we go. And I see I forgot the 10th. So let me pop back over and get that. Where are you, number 10? When I dropped these in here, I didn't bother to put them in order. I just dropped them in. That's okay. Paste over here on the side so I don't move things around. And there's the 10th. Cute. Okay. Now, I usually go through and I add any appointments that I know that I have. So I have my Monday morning meeting that's there. And of course, over here, I have um, my church service that I do there. And then actually, this week, we are finishing up our Lenten Bible study. So I'm going to add that in there so I remember that. And what else? What else? Don't have a lot going on this week, but I will get back to walking with my friends at the park. And we will do that. We do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that and put it down here on Thursday as well. All right. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. It was a fun celebration weekend, and we had a great time. Went to see some beautiful flowers and had some good food and spent some good family time. So it was really enjoyable. I liked it a lot. All right. Okay. what are my big things going to be for next week? Well, when I take a look at, thinking about all the things that I know that I need to do, I'm going to put that hood recall at the top of the list because I need to get that taken care of. And you know what? I might even put an oil change next to that for the one car that we have because, it's been a while since that's been done. With the pandemic still going on and, me being retired, I don't drive as much as I used to. And so I don't put as many miles on my vehicle, but I do still need to get the oil changed. And it's coming up and ready to do that. So I want to make sure that that is a priority. I want to make sure that seeing Dr. Tabor's a priority. And I am going to work on Sarah's quilt. I wanted to show you guys just a quick peek. I know that I talk about quilting a lot, and some of you know that I'm a quilter. And I just wanted to show you that her top is finished. This is a sneak peek. She hasn't seen it yet. So her top is finished. There you go. You can kind of see some of the colors that she's picked out. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's going to look really good. I hope she's going to like it and be surprised. But now we need to go and get the backing picked out for that. And I need to make an appointment with her to go shopping and do that. She is a high school senior, so, life is busy for her. So I want to make sure that I work in a time to get together with Sarah and do that. Let's see. I want to show you also. Let's see. Here's Sarah's quilt. I'm going to copy that and take it forward to the next week because that will be a project that I'll be working on. And if I click on that, you can see this is a picture of the quilt pattern that she wanted. Now hers looks a little different because she picked different fabric. Thank you. I think the quilt is very pretty too. It was a new style for me to try, and using batiks, it's the first time I've worked with all batiks, but I thought it looked really, really pretty. So thank you for that. So now I'm down here to in my checklist of this particular project, I am down to getting the backing. I have to pick it out and buy it, and then I'll send it off to a long arm quilter once we pick, what pattern we want on it. I think it's going to look really good, but her graduation is coming up at the end of May, so I need to get busy and get that in there. Because it takes a while to bind them and stuff. So I have made a quilt for every niece and nephew that has graduated um, in the family and on that side of the family anyway. Because I didn't start this tradition until the other side of the family, they were already graduated from college and moving on. So I started making baby quilts for them. Anyway, so it's really a fun project, and I love quilting, and it just is very relaxing for me. So this is her project plan, and I love this because it just kind of keeps me on track with what I need to do next and not forget anything. So that works out really well. Okay, so I'm going to put Sarah's quilt up there as a project. And let's see what other projects was I working on this week. Oh, the secretary painting. I'll move that forward too because I am hoping that if the paint comes in, which is supposed to come in next week, that I could go ahead and get started. I have this secretary here. Let me zoom in and show you. This was given to me by my very dear friend who is moving to Maine, and this belonged to her mother. And I just think it's beautiful. It has glass front doors, and it has um, a writing desk that folds down here. They were taken off while it was in storage and being stripped. But I do have those as well. And then here is a picture of some inspiration things for how I might want to paint it or finish it. Um, I have a lot of modern things in my house, and my husband loves, black accents. So I think the combination might be pretty. I don't know if it'll work or not. I don't know, but we'll see. I ordered some paint and we'll give it a try. And if it's cool enough next week, it has to be like above 50 degrees for the paint to stick. That's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I don't know what in Celsius, 10 maybe, 12 maybe. I don't know. Anyway, um, uh, so long as it's cool enough, I can go out in the garage and paint. And I'd like to get that done pretty soon. You know what? I'm glad you're doing a brain dump with me. You need to get your sewing machine serviced. That's kind of why I wanted to do this live, hoping that you guys could kind of plan along with me and maybe we could trigger each other as to some things that we need to remember. What kind of sewing machine do you have? I have a Brother 1500 that, man, it sews fast and strong, and the thing that I like about it is the throat is about this wide. So as I'm doing quilting, I have plenty of room to put the material through. Anyway, um, so anyway, this project page that I created for this secretary is kind of nice as well. This is I have a picture here of the paints that I'm going to be using and the order that I put in, and I even got delivery notification that the paint should be arriving soon, so that'll be good. All right, so I want to keep that in mind. Yes, plenty of room for the helpers. You're right, Samantha. Uh, the cats do like to sit and watch me sew, and everything else that I do, they like to be part of that as well. All right, so maybe I can get some painting done. And then, of course, here's this old pesky basement project that I need to keep working on. Like I said, I was able to get a few boxes out, some things cleared out, but I got all my plants out, so that corner is kind of empty now. Slowly but surely, a little bit every day, a little bit every week, and I'm making progress, so that's good. Making progress. All right. Dinner plans. I don't usually plan my menu until Sunday. And then I sit down with the family and say, all right, anybody have requests for what they want for next week? Or I go through the freezer and I say, okay, this has been in there for a while. We need to get rid of that. Or it's going to be cold this week, so let's have shepherd's pie or let's have, chili or something like that. Okay. Errands to run. I still have that Christmas tree shop return that I need to make. I bought some uh, lampshades for a lamp that I have, and they're too small, the ones that I bought. Wishful thinking, I think. Um, this here is for my YouTube and Instagram stuff. I'm going to plan that later. To do and weekly tasks. Well, I need to vacuum the steps, the basement steps, and the upper level steps. All right. And I need to get car prices for rental. If we decide to take a trip next month, I need rental car prices. All right. Um, oh, I need to check on my neighbor. My neighbor had COVID, and so I need to check to make sure that she is doing well and has fully recovered. She was having a hard time with it, so I just want to check in on her. Um, any other people that I need to talk to next week? Oh, I need to check in with my sister. Um, they were getting ready to go on some travel, and I need to check in with them and see what that schedule is like. We like, just my sister and I, we like to keep track of when each other is in and out of town, that kind of thing, and just, have an idea of what's going on with each other, trying to maintain that contact. Bernice says her machine is a Moistar, a brand that only exists in Switzerland. Wow. It's from Migros, one of the biggest supermarket chains here. I guess it is probably from a different brand originally. Hmm. Do you use it for sewing, like domestic sewing, curtains and pillows, that kind of thing? Or are you uh, um, sew garments or quilting, or how? What do you do? What do you do with your sewing machine? I started sewing because I am so tall that I couldn't find clothes that fit me properly, so I started doing garment sewing years and years ago. Then they started coming out with tall clothing, and I was able to, buy more things, so that was good. And I also switched over and started wearing a lot of men's clothes. So I would buy my jeans in the men's department and my button-up shirts in the men's department because they fit better. The sleeves were longer and all that. So, and I really don't care. I'm not a very girly girl, so that was okay. Anyway. Hello from Venezuela. Nice to see you here with us today. All right. Okay. So, going through and setting up next week and just really kind of getting that stuff off of my mind, that kind of thing. Oh, there's an important one that I need to move forward. All right. Let's see. I like to make my own Kahlua, and so I do that with vodka. So I'm going to put that there as something that I need to buy. So I'm going to put it there, and then I'm going to go up here and add my tag to it to buy, and that will come up on my shopping list. Okay. All right. Do you guys have any questions for me about how, I do my planning and my, my brain dumps and my triggers, that kind of thing, for the week ahead? I like to make sure that I schedule things in like my, financial check-ins and that kind of thing. Uh, that's usually a Wednesday kind of thing for me. So I can put that in on here. I do my gardens by zones. So that means I work a little bit in each zone of my yard every day. So Mondays is the very front yard, and then I work my way kind of clockwise around the house. So Tuesdays, I work on the little side garden by the air conditioner. Wednesdays is the backyard. And Thursdays is the side of the house. And then I have a circle garden out in the middle of the driveway that I work on Fridays. And that's just kind of how I do it. I go around, I do a little bit, almost like my Fly Lady zone cleaning. I go around and do a little bit, little bit, little bit. And so it's always kind of picked up and always kind of tidy. And I get to the deep cleaning, from time to time. So, uh, I'm not a professional at all. So I do only small stuff for me. Yep. Yep. Pouches and purses. I was just thinking this morning, as I was going through and tidying up the bathroom, I have a pouch that my makeup is in that's kind of, tall at one end and pointed at the other, and they have a nice strap on them, so they hang on the hook inside of the bathroom. Um, and it works great. It works great. And I love little pouches, and I keep little pouches in my book bag and all that kind of stuff. So all those things are fun to sew. Tote bags for groceries and that kind of stuff. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Well, hello, Renee. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. All right. Okay. And, also, I wanted to just show you guys quickly down here on my list for today. So, this is a sample of my daily page, and this is the one that I have for today. And I have a schedule of things that I do here on a routine basis. I was talking about, my garden and how I kind of do that on zones. And I do the same thing for the house and kind of do that on zones. So, Friday, you see here, it was rainy. Morning routine, deep clean the kitchen. Deep clean means, clean out the microwave and wipe down the inside of the refrigerator, that kind of thing. Dust and vacuum the lower level, dust and vacuum the wood floors, clean the lower level bathroom, because Friday is really the day that I try to get the house ready for the weekend in case we have anybody that drops by or anything like that. And Friday is the circle garden. Although with it raining today, I'm not going to get out and do much except maybe go out and peek at the tulips that are blooming. I think that'll be cool. And then post and review CCL video. My video went up this morning at 9 o'clock, so I did that. I'm going to go in and check off the things that I did here. Dusted and vacuumed. Actually, I did that yesterday because I knew I was doing the live stream today. I did the wood floors as well. I have not done the bathroom yet. And I'm going to write next to it that it was raining today and I'm not going to get out there. All right. Let's see. How to use find tags to decide what has to be done on that particular day without being overwhelmed. I struggle with this. Well, that's a great question. And what I tend to do is, like on this daily page, I take a look at what the weather is, and I take a look at what my mood and my energy level are. And that really helps me decide what I'm going to be able to tackle that day. If I wake up with a headache and I really don't have a lot of energy, I'm just going to do the mundane routine, things that need to be done. If I have slept well and I'm feeling good, I'm going to go ahead and take care of as much things as I can from that list. So, for example, let me show you down here. I have on Thursdays is usually a time when I make, all of my phone calls. So I will list all of my phone calls and then I kind of schedule them on Thursday. And so I'll sit down usually about 11 o'clock in the morning and I will start making those phone calls. So I just kind of tell myself, there's a time and a day that I set aside for certain things. So grocery shopping or errand running is usually on a Wednesday. Um, Calls are usually done on Thursdays. And so I chunk things like that so that, it's easier for me to remember. Now, I currently have um, on my tag summary list, as I'm showing you here on the side, I currently have a lot of things on my tag summary list. Why is that? Well, it's because I just went through last month and I did my big seasonal brain dump. Let me show you that inbox. So if you look over here at this inbox, you see all of these things that I went through and added to my list. And a lot of those things I just have to know either it's too cold and I'm not going to do that yet, or that will come in time. Again, that natural planning model, once it warms up, and I start putting things outside on the porch, there will just be other things that, remind me of what I need to do. Okay. So for example, turning off the pilot light to the gas fireplace here. It's too cold to do that because I still may, have a night if the power goes out and I need heat in here. I want to leave that pilot light on. So I really just kind of take a look at what's there. I look at my energy level. I look at what other things I have to do, and then I make my priorities. I usually do that the night before. I will sit down the night before and say, okay, this is what I got accomplished today. This is what I think I need to do tomorrow. And I'll go ahead and add it to my list for tomorrow. And then when I wake up in the morning, I see how I'm feeling and I think, okay, am I going to be able to handle those things or not? Okay. So hopefully that helps. But I find that just having everything written down out of my head, as David Allen says, your head is a crappy office. And those little pieces of paper get lost. My tags list doesn't get lost. It's always there. Some people say it might overwhelm them or haunt them. I look at it as freeing because I know I'm not going to forget about something. And remember, you can always delegate tasks too. If you have somebody in your life that can help you with things, you can always ask for help. Um, and remember, most of these things that we put on our to-do list are things that we make, they're commitments that we make to ourselves. Most of them are not commitments that we make with other people. If I don't get my front porch washed and scrubbed down this spring, that's just a commitment that I've made with myself. I'm not hurting anybody by not getting that done. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, think about those things that you have on your list and are they really important? Or is that just something that you would like to have done because you think that it would be better. Your home would be better or your life would be better if you did them. Okay? Just something to think about. All right. All right. Thank you so much for showing us your plans. I've learned a lot from watching you. Use OneNote. I've been inspired to keep up with my plans. Yay! Lady LG80, I think that is fantastic. I was telling my daughter, as a retired teacher, uh, I've spent years and years and years helping people. And when she went away to college, and I had nobody else to teach, I decided to start this YouTube channel so that I could reach out and teach people maybe a different way of doing some planning. I used to be a paper planner and I loved it, but when I started digital planning, there's just no looking back. There's just there's so much information that I can keep organized and keep on top of. And I'm just so happy that people are watching and listening and learning. And I just think that's great. So if I have helped you in some way, even some small way, I am so happy. If I can remind you to get your sewing machine serviced, all right, I've done my job for the day. If I've inspired somebody, that makes me very happy. I'm glad. I'm glad. And I hope if you guys are not subscribers, that you'll think about subscribing to the channel, and share it with somebody else who might like OneNote. Um, and if there's other things that you'd like me to try to cover, I can do that as well. Um, like I said in the beginning, I've had some requests to meet the kittens, to meet the cats that I have. So I have started filming some kitty cam kinds of shots that I want to be able to share with you guys. I think that'll be fun to put up. They're actually all asleep right now. There's one on the first couch, there's one on the second end of the couch, and there's one right here. So I currently only have 3 of the 5 right around me at the moment, but they're all sleeping. So 3 o'clock seems to be a good time to do a live. Anyway, well, I think I'm going to wrap up, and I just want to know if you've enjoyed this live. Please give me a smiley face or a thank you or a something so that I know that maybe we could do a live again. And if there's something else that you would like to see me do a live stream on or plan with you, let me know, because like I said, I don't do this for me. I do this to help other people, and I just think OneNote's a great tool, and I want to share it with people. Stacy, thank you so much. I saw that you were a new subscriber, and I do appreciate that. And thanks for joining us today. It's been really really fun, and it looks like we're getting some positive feedback. So maybe we'll schedule another live soon. All right. Oh, very good. So we're getting found you this week. Love your content. Thank you. Smiley face, and Bernice is saying that she profited a lot from my experience and knowledge. She says, thank you. You're welcome. I am so glad that I can help. I will absolutely do another live. Uh, that would be fun. That would be fun. Okay. Well, I want to say thanks to my daughter Samantha for monitoring things today and helping me get things set up. She is a great inspiration, and she does a lot of the graphics for me. So all those pretty pictures that you see, that's her. She does that. So thanks so much, babe. I appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us. And until next time, here's hoping that you can live a more organized and simplified life through better planning. I use OneNote. Until next time, guys. Okay, bye.